Good afternoon, student. This is the second part of the chapter Food Security in India, class 9, subject Social Science. Student, if you remember in the last section of the first part, we made our discussion about most devastating famine in Bengal, which took place in 1943. And in this famine, almost 3 million people, 30 lakh people died. That was the time when India was not independence, it was under the British control. British colonial administration was existing over here. But student, it is not that such thing happened only before the independence. Even after independence, there are places like Kalahandi and Kashipur in Odisha, Palamau district in Jharkhand, or Baran district in Rajasthan, where starvation deaths are still taking place. It means there exists a large scale food insecurity in these areas, which itself is a matter of serious concern and gives an idea that we need to make sincere effort so that we can get rid of food insecurity from all the part of the country. The student, moving to next section, that is who are food insecure, given on page number 44. Uh, as far as this particular section is concerned, uh, as far as this particular section is considered, student, you will get plenty of idea from the previous chapter, that is poverty as a challenge. If you remember, we discussed that certain social and economic group are more vulnerable to poverty. We also discussed that within the family it is women, elderly people and female infants are more likely to be remaining poor. If the family is poor, they are likely to be more poor. And among the social and economic group, we added scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, OBC, landless rural laborers and casual workers are all included in this category. So it's quite simple to understand, student. You can connect it easily that if these group of people are likely to be more food more poor, if these group of people are likely to be more vulnerable to poverty, they are likely to be, quite naturally, they are likely to be more food insecure. So we can say that such group are likely to remain food insecure also, like SC, ST, OBC, casual laborer in the urban area and landless laborer in the rural area. Then among the family, it is women, elderly people and female infants. But student, it is not that only these group can be added. In the rural area, we can find that there exists traditional artisans, traditional service provider, uh, and many other group of people. In the urban area, you will find that there exists casual worker, people who are employed in the unorganized sector, and which is where the work is not regular, and whatever work is there, that is also ill paid. Beggars can be included in this category. All these are the group where you can say that existence of food insecurity is much higher compared to the other area. Based on this, student, your book has made the point clear that uh, if this kind of food insecurity exists, India need to understand the nature of food insecurity so that we can find that what are the measures that need to be taken to remove such food insecurity from our country. To help you understand, again your book has chosen the same thing, that is taking few examples, one from the village area, one from the urban area, like you had many examples in your chapter poverty as challenge. So let us read one by one. I expect that you are going to read it yourself. Only I'm providing a brief story about what the story given. Story of Ramu from the village area living in the Raipur village. Ramu is a casual labor, student. What is written over here? Ramu is casual labor and he has 4 sons and 2 daughters. Again, student, you've been reading these stories from the last chapter, and every time you have found that wherever poverty exists, wherever food insecurity is likely to exist, there is one characteristic, that the size of the family is always large. Ramu has elder son Somu, who is only 10-year-old, but even at the age of 10, when he is supposed to go to school, he is not going to school, rather he is working as a pali. It means he is taking care of the cattle of the sarpanch named Satpal Singh. And mind you, here he is paid 1000 rupees for the entire year, which is very less amount. Along with this, Ramu's wife Sunehri also help him to make some extra earning. She work as a part-time worker on the on in the places of the rich people in the village, and where she is paid half liter milk per day. Sometimes she also assists her husband, but that's not good enough. Uh, Ramu, working in the agricultural field, remain victim of seasonal unemployment. So out of the 12 month of the year, 4 month he do not find any work. That's how his earning is also getting badly affected. You can say that whenever he is not finding work, he tries to go and get the work in nearby town like brick making industry or at the construction site. But all these things are somehow only providing something to eat for his entire family, which is quite big in size. Milk is quite luxury for the family. There is not enough food. Most of the children are under the malnourished state. So this is one of the story from the village area. There is another story, but before we move ahead, let us find out some of the questions addressed over here. Why is agricultural a seasonal activity? This is on page number 45, student. You are being asked in the let's discuss section. You very well aware, we have discussed earlier many times that agricultural is seasonal in nature, because as per the crop productivity do take place as per the climatic condition, and based on the climatic condition there is a fixed time for certain crops to produce. So once the harvesting is done and before the another crop is to be produced, there is a lean phase in which most of the labor don't find any work in agricultural field, and this situation is called seasonal unemployment. Why is Ramu unemployed for about 4 months in a year? Because he is associated with the agricultural work, and agricultural work has a nature of seasonal unemployment. That is why for 4 months he do not find appropriate work, although he tried to get some work in the brick making industry or construction work site. What does Ramu do when he is unemployed? It is already being explained that he used to go to the nearby town and try to get some work over there in the brick making industry or construction site, and maybe some other options. Who are supplementing income in Ramu's family? His son Somu and wife Sunehri. Why does Ramu face difficulty when he is unable to have work? He faced this difficulty just because he find that the resources generated after working for these number of days is not sufficient to fulfill the requirement of the entire family. That's why it is a area of concern. When is Ramu food insecure? During the period of seasonal unemployment of his, he is probably food insecure. Moving to next story, student. Story of Ahmad. Ahmad lives in Bangalore and he has come from Jhumri Talaiya. Same story, large size family. He has 3 brothers, 2 sisters, old parents, and his own family. He is a rickshaw puller in the city. Problem is same, that he lives in a slum area, means there is not proper housing facility, no proper safe drinking water or sanitation is available. But one good thing is there for this man, that he has below poverty line ration card, which help him to get sugar, kerosene, wheat, rice at a half of the price of the market. That's how he, although he earns very less, his earning is never sufficient, but because these required items are available at quite a less price, he can somehow manage to fulfill his family's requirement. Again, few questions are asked in the let's discuss section, again on page number 45. Does Ahmad have a regular income from rickshaw pulling? We all know that this is not a kind of regular work. Sometimes he earns good enough, sometimes he remains. These days it becomes, sometimes he remains without proper work. Reason, these days we all have purchased our own vehicle. Most of the people don't use rickshaw. People, right from the student to the elder people, those who go to the office, they have their own two-wheeler or four-wheeler. So the Ramu's services are not required to the larger people in the city like Bangalore. How does the yellow card help Ahmad? We all have discussed in this section that this yellow card provide him the luxury of taking the food articles required for his survival at a half of the price what is determined in the market. So we can say student that in this section again there is the same story. One story was from the village, this is from the urban area, that food insecurity is likely to exist in these family. Reason, they are more they are not having a regular income, they are living in poverty. So we can find a connection between poverty and food insecurity. That is how we can say that the social composition and inability to buy food is the very basic reason of food insecurity, be it in the social and economic group like SC, ST, scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, OBC section of the society, then landless agricultural labor and casual worker in the urban area. Also student, those section which we have discussed in this earlier part, we need to find out the solution for this. One more category is provided in your textbook, that is migrated people are also likely to be in a very poor shape because they find difficult to sustain. Reason, they have shifted from their place of living. So on the new place, both earning opportunity as well as housing is a quite difficult situation for them. It is not easily available to them. So migrant people also remain food insecure. Last category what has been discussed in your textbook is women. We have discussed that if the family is poor, women are likely to be more poor. So if women are food insecure, they are likely to remain with the poor and malnourished body, and assume that if they become pregnant and if they are likely to deliver a baby is expected to be, their newborn baby is expected, their infant is expected to be also malnourished. And that is written on the page number 46, which is taken a data from it is written by National Health and Family Survey that there are such women and children which are approximately 111 crore, which is a very high data student. This itself gives an idea that due to the poverty there exists this problem of food insecurity in many sections of our society, and we can easily find that if women remain poor, they pass it to their next generation by producing a child, because if they are weak in their body, if they do not get sufficient nutritious and healthy food, they are not likely to produce a healthy child. That is one of the case which itself gives an idea that we need to understand. Now we need to understand that how we need to make effort to make these group food secure, how we need to make some effort in the direction of achieving food sufficiency. Food sufficiency means self-sufficient in the matter of food production. Moving to our next point, that it is not only in country that only few people are poor. There are some reason also in country where few reasons are developed in the country, some reasons where these incidents of starvation, death and food insecurity are higher. Like in Uttar Pradesh, you will go to the western part, that is quite prosperous and developed. But if you will go to the eastern part of Uttar Pradesh, which is close to the Bihar region, that is not very prosperous in the terms of attaining food security for all the people. You will be going to the Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, part of Madhya Pradesh, West Bengal and Odisha, which actually face the various problem. Especially we all know that Odisha has a problem of cyclone disturbance. It is a reason where the cyclonic disturbance do take place, which actually cause lot of loss to the people living, and that's why they most of the time remain under the poverty, and because of their poverty they remain food insecure. So these are the area also which you can say in terms of state, in terms of region, are more likely to be food insecure. Then food security also led to the situation of food insecurity. Sorry student, food insecurity led to the situation of hunger. Your book has mentioned that it is not the food is very good point written over here, that it is not the expression of poverty. Hunger is not the expression of poverty. It brings about poverty. That book is wanting to tell you that because of hunger, the poverty naturally comes. Hunger itself is being divided into two categories: chronic hunger and seasonal hunger. Chronic hunger means that whenever any person do not get sufficient diet, or you can say that get inadequate diet for a longer period of time, then the person is likely to remain chronic hunger. Such person will always remain hungry because his dietary needs are never fulfilled. Your book has written like this: chronic hunger is a consequence of diets persistently inadequate in terms of quantity and quality. Yes, student, in terms of quantity of the food as well as in terms of quality of the food. If any person continuously getting insufficient diet, and because of that he is always hungry and has a malnutritious body with poor immune system, that hunger is called chronic hunger. Seasonal hunger is quite understandable wherever there exists seasonal unemployment due to the nature of the agricultural work in the rural area or some work in the urban area also. You can add some of the examples from urban area, like casual worker during the rainy season don't get opportunity to work. So during this period they don't get earning opportunity. Because of earning opportunity missing for them, they are likely to remain food insecure. You have taken the case of Ramu, where he remains food insecure for some month when he has no proper job opportunity. That is one of the that is one of the aspects of the hunger, that is chronic as well as seasonal hunger. Based on this, your book on page number 46 have provided the table. Let me go through the table, student. It is divided into the two categories, seasonal and chronic, and then the total is provided, both being subdivided into two areas, rural and urban, from 83 to 93-94 and then 99-2000. The data is giving us opportunity. What is good sign that both seasonal and chronic hunger is slowing down. It is coming down. It means India is achieving self-sufficiency in the food grain production. Ever since India has attained independence, student, it has made various efforts so that it can produce enough food for our large population, and no person remain without food, or no person remain with food insecure. So in this direction, we have already read in the chapter story of village Palampur that in the decades of 60s, related to the production of wheat and later of the rice crop, the modern agriculture method was introduced, in which high yielding variety seeds with pesticides and fertilizer and high amount of irrigation could increase the productivity. As a result, what happened that in western part of Uttar Pradesh, in Punjab, in Haryana, and for the wheat production, and in Tamil Nadu region for the rice production, there came lot of prosperity because production got increased. People were considered to be more food secure, and that's how India could achieve self-sufficiency in this regard. On this page, the appropriate data are provided that how India in different area, be it Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, has increased the productivity. I would suggest you that you go through these data. The latest data is provided through the soft copy of the textbook. You read it and you will find that India, in spite of having a very high population, are making good development and making good sincere effort to achieve self-sufficiency in the food grain production. However, there are certain gray area what we shall address in the coming part of this chapter. Thank you, students.